Hello everybody and welcome back to the We Skill Now YouTube channel where we're talking about leagues, we're all obsessed with it, and we don't have that much information, but it's not going to stop us from just beating this horse until it's absolutely dead. But today I actually wanted to do something that I thought was pretty important, pretty valuable. I wanted to rate how valuable each of the skills were in relativity to all the other skills. I'm doing that based on what was said in the direct, in the summer summit.
Something important to keep in mind with this league is not all skills will be priced equally. Some have more value in the main game, and those will be reflected in the costs it takes to unlock them.
You know, some skills just do have more utility than other skills, and they're going to be priced to reflect that. But it wouldn't be a fun tier list like this without input from my Twitch chat. So if you want to be involved in the next time we do this, join me over on Twitch. Go down into the description, there's a link to my Twitch, and I'll see you guys over here. But for now, let's get to work. Let's start with attack. Literally just the attack skill. Kind of difficult because you need to think of it in relationship with the rest of combat, but where do you want this to go? S, A, B, C, or D? An interesting thing about this list is we might need to revise it afterwards because of some different things that, some ideas that I've seen in my YouTube comments. These skills aren't necessarily just going to have a static price, but rather maybe they get more expensive as you unlock more of them. It's not that like attack costs 150 league points if you unlock it first, or if you unlock it like as your 20th skill. Maybe they get more expensive, but I have a feeling, based on the way that the words were phrased in the Summer Summit, that some skills are just straight up going to be more expensive than others if they're important or if they're good. So thinking about attack, it's the thing that gives you access to multiple different types of weapons. If you only have one attack, I guess you could eventually get over to the Dragon Warhammer, but that'd be a really interesting account build. Chat so far is thinking A, but chat just brought up an awesome point. They might just want us to have fun and play the game, so it's not like every invaluable skill is going to be so horrendously expensive. I actually don't think that they're going to make any skill like too expensive, you know? If you want a skill, you're going to be able to get it, and it's not going to be that hard. You start with 3 skills, then unlock a pack of 3. I think that would be kind of cool. I don't think that they've given any hints that that's the case, but like, if you unlocked packs of skills, that'd be awesome, because they could throw something lame in a package with something cool. So that'd be nice. That would kind of be like a pros and cons sort of situation, like it's been in the past leagues. You know, having hit points on the screen suddenly made me realize, oh my gosh. You know how a lot of Iron Men rush over to Wintertodt because they take advantage of their low hit points? They don't have to do that this league. They don't have to do that at all. You can just leave your hit points locked and go later. How crazy is that? That is, of course, assuming that HP will be locked at the start, and locked means that you don't gain experience. What's the thought on quest XP? Do you get it after unlocking? I think that you can do the quest. I think that it would literally block the experience from the reward. But yeah, I was thinking that an alternative name for Leagues 3 could be Rendy's Dream League, because he can finally go do Priest in Peril and not get prayer experience. Let's think about how important mining is in your Iron Man journey. A decent number of quests blocked by mining? Okay, good point, honestly. How else are you supposed to flex a 3rd age pickaxe? You don't need a mining level to equip it. Am I wrong? But you guys still put it in C. I really want to drag this down to D. Really bad. Guys, how expensive is strength gonna be? Is cost going to consider not just usefulness, but time to level 99? So Slayer's good, but it takes forever. So expensive because good, or cheap because otherwise maxing's gonna be difficult? In my mind, I think we can mostly take away the thought of how long it takes to get to 99. I think expensiveness is going to come down to how useful this thing is. Now, you can take that down a couple of different paths, and that is how useful is this skill in main game as an Iron Man, or how useful is this skill in gaining League's 3 task points. Now, we don't know what the League's 3 tasks are, but we've all been through Trailblazers, so we've kind of got like a really good gist of what the tasks will be. You know, basically it's do anything and get points. So that kind of, by saying that, makes the first point kind of loop around on itself and make it not matter again. Because skills that are useful in the main game are going to be useful in Leagues 3. What are you guys thinking about agility? Infinite Run definitely hurts agility. It does hurt agility. That's why I put the phrase in Leagues, the prepositional phrase in Leagues in the prompt. If unlimited running, then D. If not, then S. Let's make some assumptions. We're going to get unlimited energy at some point during the league. We don't know if we'll start with it, but we're going to have it. If experience rates go up as you unlock more fragments, they do. Slow skills are worse to unlock early. I like that. Look, in Anvil. I wonder if anyone is trimming armor. How useful is smithing in Leagues? What do you guys think? Oh, we've got some smithing haters in chat. Couple of smithing haters. Yikes! Cringe. Smithing. Can we talk about smithing's personality, though? Can we talk about what good smithing brings to the world? If you spend a long time, you can make yourself a nice set of rune armor. Huh? Pretty good. Smithing is the most nostalgic skill. It's got that going for it. Nice. Range, ammo, and nothing else. It's so interesting how, like, the traditional thought is that smithing goes with combat and fletching go with range, but really, it's smithing goes with range. That's pretty much it. Assuming you've got time to wait, you can also just start smithing by holding off on the level 29 quest. Great point. Yeah, and if you hold off, you're gonna have even a higher multiplier at that point. A Night Sword is going to be insane. Yeah. You should definitely not unlock smithing for a long time. Smithing down to D, but we're moving on to defense. How important is defense? How important is being able to put on higher tiers of armor? Early game. Think early game. Peers in the regular game can do so much. And that's my thought. Peers can do a lot of things. And also, we're going to have buffs from fragments. We're going to have a bunch of combat buffs as it is. Frog skill. Now, if you guys are thinking early game, what are you thinking about for Herblore? What are you going to use it for? How quickly can you really get up to prayer potions? All right, it was leaking a little bit into A, honestly, but we'll keep that down at B. Look at this. You guys are so even. We got one on the line, boys. Fishing. What do you guys think about fishing? Well, we're thinking about fishing right now. You can get up in there, catch some shrimp, catch some trout, get yourself some food right away, assuming some kind of buff for AFK skills. Yeah. So Billy Jim is thinking, well, fishing's not that exciting, but there's been a precedent in Leagues to have like double loot. Food, lots of points with different spots and places to catch stuff, diaries all over, and it's AFK and decent early food. You know, if it weren't for fishing, what would you guys be eating in combat? I think of wines. I think of cake stalls. I survived last league off of Karambwans. That makes a lot of sense. Last league, Karambwans went pretty hard. Interesting. Why did so many people put this in S? People are really thinking about the early food. You guys are really thinking that you're gonna like fill your bank with salmon and then have that as your best friend. Because I feel like if you want lobsters just take so long to fish. Oh, temperas. Yeah. Okay, we're thinking about ranged. Does anyone else feel like uncomfortable talking about, or I mean, pronouncing this skill? Ranged. I'm using my ranged skill. So weird. Like, it's not called archery. And I believe that it's ranged with a D at the end. If you mouse over the skill in game. Am I right on this? Why is attack called attack? What? Attack. It's not called accuracy. It's not called swordsmanship. It's called attack. That goes back to D&D. That's a good call. Attaccuracy. Oh, okay. So attack is short for attaccuracy. Gotcha. Chat's a fan of ranged. Because, like, everyone in chat so far has referred to it exclusively as range. But that's something that you cook things on. That's our first big S tier, and it got S by a lot. Excuse me, did the most popular girl just come into the room? Have we been talking about thieving non-stop since Leagues 3 was first announced? Since the first moment that we got a little bit of information about the league, that we were going to have locked skills? Are we talking about thieving right now? Thieving? Surely no one's a fan of thieving. Guys, imagine having to thieve for all of your money while your HP stat is locked. Isn't that gonna suck? Thieving is outshined by a huge amount of other skills. Well, interestingly, we're all starting with no money and locked skills. A lot of people are excited about thieving, actually. Next, we're talking about prayer. Prayer, very interestingly. We're thinking about what quests reward prayer experience. Maybe you want to go to Mauritania quickly. I don't know. All right, so if we unlock prayer, we can rush out to the wilderness, try to get some big bones ASAP, but I think a lot of other people are going to have the same idea. So it's going to be an interesting race. Like, do you literally race out there, get some big bones, go to the Chaos Altar, just like do this ASAP? Or do you wait a little bit? If you wait a little bit, are you going to be stuck competing for these bones against other people in a Leagues format which has limited worlds? You can't just world hop anywhere. And there's a bunch of skeletons around there, so you need to get some food first. So maybe thieve some cake stalls, then run out to the wilderness. It's kind of a long journey. If you die, it's kind of a big punishment. If you want to go to Mauritania really early and you get prayer experience from doing Priest in Peril, you want to have prayer unlocked so that you gain the rewards. You know? You can go a very long way without prayer. You definitely can. But I think someone else in chat made a really great point that once you get 43 prayer, a lot of like quest monsters become pretty negligible and you can just tear right through them. So prayer's becoming an S tier brother. Now, what does chat think? What does chat think about the most made fun of skill in old school RuneScape? Jagex was very aware that this was the clown of all skills. And so they've done things to make it a little bit more formidable. They added Wintertodt. And suddenly firemaking became a source of a pet. And honestly, just like a supplier of a bunch of materials, including coins, including fish. Does Wintertodt give fish? Including herbs, you know, logs. It gives stuff. It gives points in Leagues. It's not that cringe anymore. It's firemaking. It's got a place in the game. Wow, like everything got exactly the same except for B. So this literally landed perfectly in B. Magic coming up next. Magic, get your fingers ready. I think about teleporting. I think about killing people. I think about alking things. I think about training it for free in the library. Now, are they gonna pull a Trailblazer and make it pretty easy to fast travel places without having to grind out your magic right away? How are we going to get an endless supply of law runes early in the game? I don't know. It's one of those things that makes me nervous because I want to hoard more and more things, but in reality, I like never run out of law runes. Oh, people are a fan of magic. They're big fans of magic. Let's go. Magic going into the S tier. We thought that S tier was going to be so lonely, but now it's D. No one's willing to put anything all the way down into the D tier anymore. Definitely no skill in the world's going to go down to D ever again. Unless. What do you guys think of fletching? Wait, I don't, maybe I didn't mean to bias this. Man, fletching got D's nuts. Oh my gosh. Woodcutting for Iron Men. It supplies you with things to do construction, but what about like woodcutting itself? Does it really progress you? Does it progress you? You know? It's really fun having AFK skills, I would think. Gives you some points, but so does everything. I think that in the past, I have fallen prey to the woodcutting skill because I really like to AFK. But now, I'm going to be so focused in Leagues 3. If I have woodcutting blocked off, literally locked off from me, I'll be like, well, I guess why would I unlock this? What would I do? If there are banking fragments, then woodcutting will be great for points. I doubt it. I don't think it's going to be like crazy for points, you know? It'll give you points, but so will everything. Not crazy, but good to chill. Yeah, it will be good to chill. And for that, I'll put it right into the S tier. Call it good, call it bad. I just say that we've got a skill with character here. You're on either side of the line on this. Runecrafting? Who would have guessed? You gotta get your opinion in on this one because this is like a make or break for this entire tier list. If this ends up in the wrong spot, no one's taking this thing seriously. Runecrafting. What does it do? Gives you runes. You can go to the library to get free runecrafting experience. That's almost assuredly, by the way, what I'm going to be doing to train this skill. Guys, I said be divisive. We're totally down the middle on this one. Like every line has the same amount of votes. You know, there's 48 viewers in chat. Can we get some more votes here? I need some people to break this. And if you tab in and go all the way to the chat box just to write A or S to try to make it even more even, then you're banned. Well, based on this chart, I feel like my hand is forced to put it into B. I think I want it lower. Like, what are you really using this thing for? If someone doesn't give me a great answer for this, it's dropping a rank. All right, what would you use runecrafting for? It's in C now. If someone doesn't give me a good answer, it's dropping a rank. That's it, chat. I can't take you seriously anymore. Chat, you've been waiting for it. There is a pixelated skull on the screen with a knife coming out of it. It's Slayer, the MVP of old school RuneScape. Where do you want it? Vote now. Wait, it's a skull? Always thought it was like snow with some stuff on it. I thought it was Excalibur in a stone. Goodness! Oh my gosh. Guys, this is definitely a skull. Actually thought that Slayer was going to do a little bit better than this, but I know that we're talking about like how important early game skills are. So Slayer's going all the way down to C, even though it's got a lot of importance later on. What do you think about farming? You like filling up your inventory with a bunch of annoying seeds, walking around the land, planting them here and there. Oh, I put my seeds in the ground. I'm going to go wait like 8 real life hours, and then I'll come back. Woo! A daily quest, a daily task to do. How fun! You know, Tide Farm is really quick, and I can absolutely vouch for that from Twisted. I did some work in Tide Farm, and I had to learn it too. And eventually, I was perfect. And Tide Farm's not so bad. I actually did it like I would get done playing Twisted, and then I would go to bed, and then I would do Tide Farm on mobile until I fell asleep. I was kind of grinding in Twisted. Thinking about construction now. Construction, obviously a very important skill, but how early in the game does it become useful? You know what I mean? How quickly do you throw up a teleport portal for yourself? But is that even useful? Right? How quickly do you get some kind of good purple drink? You know? Not very quickly. Now, you might consider unlocking it fairly quickly anyway if you're planning to go over to Wintertodt. Another interesting thing about construction is it gives you some interesting teleports. I guess you need construction levels to be able to put the portal anywhere you want, but anywhere that you put that portal, you suddenly have a teleport too. You know? So you can get over to Relica quickly if you have, like, well, I guess decently high construction. But chat has put it into C. All right, A voters. A voters. What are you voting A for Hunter? What do you think is good for? You guys are thinking imps. So you quickly go and get some levels, and then you're able to bare hand some imps. Am I really going to be able to put this in A, guys? Like, I'm thinking about Hunter, and, you know, you can get, like, some baby imps and stuff, but, like, how good are those really? I can't believe we have an actual item called Bofa now. They wanted it to be called F-Bow. Yeah, we got the T-Bow and the F-Bow. And the community's like, nah, we got Bofa now. I think I know why you guys voted this as A. It's so that you could have it more even. Because every single tier got 4 skills in it, except for C. And C kind of became like the mid-ground for stuff. All right, so thinking about kind of like an early game list. My chat recommending you avoid mining, smithing, fletching, runecrafting. That makes a lot of sense. You know, you got some processing skills, but then also mining. And it's just that, like, what does mining really give you? Not much. Not much. And as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, like, are there any skills that are horribly misplaced? Yeah, chat, you can definitely weigh in on that. Going on to the C tier, we got agility, defense, crafting, woodcutting, Slayer. Even though Slayer feels so strong, so good, we're thinking about the early game. And you don't get much very quickly from Slayer. It's kind of a slow burn skill. Same for farming. And then construction. Construction's really strong late game, pretty poor startup. B tier. Hit points, interestingly. Herblore, cooking, and firemaking. Firemaking, we're all thinking about Wintertodt there. A tier. Attack. Strength, so you can kill stuff. Fishing made it. Fishing, there was some hee-hawing about fishing in chat. And I don't know. I think maybe a few AFK players bumped this one up. Getting access. I mean, how excited are any of these things early on, if we're being real? But yeah, fishing made it into the A tier. And then Hunter as well. Hunter, people are thinking about implanes. S tier, the bad boys. People are real big fans of ranged, thieving, even though we feel like thieving we're just going to get right off the bat, no matter what. You won't have to unlock it. Prayer, of course, because prayer is this amazingly broken design system where you could just negate all damage for monsters. It's absurd when you think about it. No one would design this game with prayer the way it is if it were made today, but that's why we love it. And then magic. Getting yourself some good travel options. So yeah, boys, what do you think about this list? I mean, we used a lot of brains to make it, and not everyone had all the time in the world to say their point or anything. So that's totally fair. Some people were probably voting based on different parameters than other people, but this is the list that we ended up with, and generally speaking, I think that some of the skills at the top are pretty good, and some of the skills at the bottom are pretty bad. So it makes a little bit of sense to me. If it were you making this list, what would you change about it? Tell me in the comments. What do you think the very first skill you should unlock in Leagues 3 is? If you want to yell at my community for making this list, hop into my Discord. We're getting pretty active. Things are revving up because of our excitement for Leagues 3. Should we unlock thieving first? It almost feels like It almost feels like I can't even say that because it feels like it's so clearly going to be auto unlocked. We'll see. But that's all for the video this time. I am going to be doing a cooler version of this coming up very soon. If you want to join me in chat voting for my next tier list, you're going to have to join me on Twitch. Go to the Twitch link in the description and follow me, because next time we're going to be looking at different pieces of content in the game, including bosses, and ranking them to see what's the most important thing to shoot for. What's got the highest priority? And then I think from that list, maybe we'll make some things like what order you should go for things in. But I think that that's going to be a lot of fun. But that's it. That's it for this video today. Thanks so much for being here. Hit the like button. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.